Hello Pisces. So I've taken the opportunity to come outside today to do a little bit of a reading. You are next in line because basically we have a Pisces full moon this week as I'm reading, although this reading is for any time. So it is a timeless reading. Thought I'd make the most of this late summer sun and get your reading out. I've got about 20 minutes before I need to go move my car, so I actually need to do this reading within 20 minutes. Can you tell from the last couple of readings that this is actually a little bit of a busy time for me? So, let's see what we've got. First card out, King of Cups. That's very cool. It's a very Piscean card, crossing card. Five of Swords. And we've got Eight of Pentacles overhead. Let's see what we've got in the underlying energy. Ooh, what is not known, maybe what is not yet known. Three of Wands. So, I'm Shasha. This is my channel, Shasha Rishi, and we are consulting the Oracle. I use tarot cards to do readings. Sometimes I pull in some oracle cards. If you would do me the very big favor that will cost you nothing of liking and subscribing the videos, leaving a comment if it resonates, or if you have an answer to one of the musings that I have, please pop it, please do so, or pop in the comments below. My social media is Shasha_Crow. This is Instagram. I don't really go on anything else, although I may be there. Okay, as always with these readings, this is timeless, but any decisions, actions you take as a result of having listened to this reading is all your responsibility. I take no responsibility for that whatsoever. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so we've got a King of Cups crossed by a Five of Swords. Now, King of Cups is a lovely, warm-hearted character, and so there is this energy of you being. It's got this deck. He's got a little fish pendant on, which I think is absolutely adorable. So he's got a very Piscean energy around him, the King of Cups. So this may well be you being 100% in your energy, charming, intuitive, creative, warm-hearted, and being able to relate to the feelings of other people around you, be empathetic to the feelings of others around you. Now, the Five of Swords it's about a kind of a fight that no one can really win. So we've got these, we've got the snake around the swords here. So there does seem to be some kind of a little bit of, often it's a bit deceitful, the snake energy, although I haven't seen a snake in the Five of Swords before. In this deck we do have one. There is a sense of, they're not really being any way to win. There's no win-win solution, if you like. So if you are in conflict with someone at the moment, tread gently. If the conflict is, on the other hand, within you, again, be gentle with yourself. At this full moon, anything that is not revealed is going to become revealed. So keep an eye out for anything within you that you haven't really addressed coming up. It might be a bit of a shock, although I don't see any shocking cards here. So maybe it's something you kind of know on a deep level, but haven't yet looked at. I've got a lovely white butterfly. Oh, I don't know if it'll come into the frame. So your overriding energy is Eight of Pentacles. So it seems like you've been making a lot of progress on yourself, maybe on your physical health, possibly in business, and you're starting to see the fruits coming through of this. You will need to put some more hard work in for that to really come to fruition, and you might need to take some guidance from someone else. You might need to do some training. You might be kind of learning on the job. And that's, you know, not a bad thing at all. Best way to learn, I think, is learning on the job, or learning as you're doing the thing that you're learning. The underlying energy, perhaps what we're not so aware of, is the Three of Wands in reverse. So Three of Wands in reverse to me is a feeling that we're not quite yet seeing what we're wanting to manifest. This kind of sits quite well with the Eight of Pentacles, because we're not 100% of the way there yet. The ships, sorry about the crackling of my voice, the ships are not yet ready to come in. So we're going to be looking at some patience. However, we do have Eight of Wands in the near future. I'm skipping ahead. We do have Eight of Wands in the near future, which is an indication that things will start to move forward very quickly, probably from the full moon is what I'm sensing. And after a full moon, we of course share gratitude, and we start to feel a sense of releasing. So once this releasing comes through, it may be that you're able to let go of the things, the illusions, even the arguments, you know, you just like, no one can win here, I may as well just let this go. And you can start to move forward in whichever direction it is that you feel is right for you. In the recent past, going a bit back in the reading, is the Empress in reverse. So the divine feminine energy here is not in her most abundant state. So it may be that maybe this creativity that you're beginning to feel the fullness of was actually not there for you in the recent past. You have been kind of feeling maybe a bit stuck. You've maybe kind of felt that kind of, you know, the last few, if you've heard of or are aware of it from your own body, the last few weeks of pregnancy where you're like, oh, this is never going to happen. Like, I feel so heavy, everything is really hard. How, you know, is this ever going to happen, you know? And I think the important letting go that needs to happen here with the Five of Swords crossing will then lead, as I said, to that Eight of Wands, where you are forging forward in a new way. So yeah, letting the argument go, letting the conflict go, and allowing yourself to move forward unhindered by any kind of hang-ups that you might have around other people, the way they've behaved, etc. So in the Self card, we have the King of Swords, and this kind of goes alongside with your need to cut off anything that isn't serving you. And I don't mean this in an aggressive sense. It's just being really discerning about what's supporting me, what and who is supporting me, who and what is not supporting me. And whilst that support may not look exactly the way you expect it to look, or the way you'd hoped it would look, if it's genuinely there, then it's worth taking that into account. That Eight of Pentacles, it might be learning to accept things in the way that they're offered. So if we're talking about, I think this is about work, but if we're talking about a relationship, that you receive love, at least for now, in a way that the other person is capable of giving it. Or if you receive service, and acts of service is of course one of the love languages, if you can receive that in the way that it's offered, rather than expecting them to express it in a different way that isn't congruent with their own authenticity. So it's very easy for us to say, you're offering me this, but what I want is that. When it comes to love languages, so the way in which we express love, and that can happen, you know, in a professional sense as well, like the way that they're presenting things to you, if it's not going to work for you, then maybe that working relationship isn't appropriate anymore. But if you're in a relationship, you have to learn each other's love languages, and that should be a mutual thing. And recognize that when someone with a love language of acts of service is serving you, they are loving you, and you can appreciate that for what it is, right? Obviously you still need what you need, and again, that's maybe a learning thing. What is it that you need? King of Cups is obviously a very emotional card. It's an emotionally mature card. Perhaps you've grown emotionally. Eight of Pentacles overshadowing this, and you're hoping for the people around you to grow as well, but maybe right now they're not able to do that. So either you hang on in there and learn as you go, and hopefully have an influence on that person as well, or those people, that group of people. Or in the future you might consider maybe this dynamic is not going to work and we'll move into something else. So in the environment card, we've got 3 of Pentacles, which is really interesting because 3 of Pentacles is a card of, let's see if it will, hopefully it will focus on that, is also a card of perfecting the art of something and also teaching. So although I didn't really take in that was the 3 of Pentacles there, when I'm talking about you having done a certain amount of learning, having perfected some kind of skills, you may also need to teach those or transfer that knowledge in some way to the people in your environment. And that may be where you work again, or it may be in your home environment. And the best way of teaching is by example. I really believe that. If you need people to be more loving to you in whatever way, be more loving. If you want people to take responsibility for their chores or whatever, or their job role, don't do it for them, but do your job really well. Yeah, that's cool. I think that's explanatory now. So a beautiful card in the hopes and fears is the World. So you really want to come to completion on something. You really want to get to the end of a cycle. Full moons are, of course, a culminating cycle, but we start a whole new one afterwards. So with the World, we want to see that reward coming through. So what we're not seeing with the 3 of Wands in reverse, we're wanting to see with the World in the upright position. Now in this position on the deck, we are on the spread, sorry, we are seeing the hope that we will come to completion on something, but we're also fearing that we're just not going to get there. So that alone time will tell. You do your part and be that example for others. I think it's be an example for others might be the name of this reading, because it is definitely feeling like that to me, that you're taking a leadership role here with the King of Cups, with your emotional maturity, and you've got the King of Swords in your Self card, so you need to make that discerning those decisions, and you need to sort what's working from what's not working, essentially, in your personal life and in your working life. It will be different for some of you than others. Now in the outcome position, we've got, and we're doing well for time here, we've got the Temperance card in reverse. So it looks as though whatever balance is currently sitting, and that might be an uncomfortable balance, whatever balance is currently sitting within your environment or your circumstances, whether that be personal or professional or other, it's going to have to go out of balance a little bit. So it might be that a working relationship doesn't work out and you have to do a little bit more of the work. It might be that because you're in this teaching role, you're in this leadership role, you are going to basically be doing more than other people. So you're going to kind of be working overtime. And hopefully it doesn't feel, and I'm going to pull a clarifier here, hopefully it doesn't feel like you've already been doing that for too long, right? But this work of educating others is going to be so valuable in the long run. It's going to take the weight off your shoulders. Let's just confirm that, hopefully, with a card. Yeah, 6 of Swords. So you can let some things go. You can even move on if you want to. And maybe some of that training gets to be for you. Maybe you get to train in something new, but you can discover new things. You can move on to a different area of the business, or a different level of your relationships, or a different stage of your personal development, because you've moved on. You have done what you can, whether the people have taken the learning or not. You've done what you can, and you can move on. All right, one last card for Pisces. Yeah, so there's going to be change. As we already established, we've got the Tower in reverse. This is more of a gentle change than an intense, vigorous change. So I do like a Tower in reverse. It's not going to be, it's going to be a gradual, considered changing of the way that things are now to a new way. And maybe you've been working on this for months, you know, so, you know, I congratulate you, I honor you. You are going to come to the completion of that cycle according to what's written here, if you like. Yeah, and the Eight of Wands is such a great, maybe you're even going to be traveling, like, because we've got the Six of Swords and we've got the Eight of Wands. So maybe you're going to travel, maybe it's going to be travel for education, maybe it's going to be travel just, you get to have a holiday because you've put someone else in charge for whilst you're away, or you've got more capacity to do that. Or, you know, maybe you're moving on from a relationship in some capacity. I don't really see a lot of love, intimate relationship cards here. The King of Cups is obviously quite a nice one for that, but it's very self-contained, and there's no Queen here, so we don't see the counterparts within the reading. The Empress is in reverse, but we're going from a feeling of I haven't got what I need, or I'm not producing exactly what I need, to an energy of let's change things up and let's move forward with a slightly different plan. Okay, I think the kids have come out to play, so I'm going to end that reading there. But thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And follow me on Instagram at Shasha_Crow if you would like to. Thank you so much, Pisces. Have a great month.